Hello,
Hello.
Peter Kyle.
Yeah, right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm really excited here today to learn about what Department of Science, Innovation and Technology are doing in the tech space. So
Yes.
I have a few questions if you don't mind.
Great.
Great. So tell me how young people can be inspired to pursue a career in the UK, such as cybersecurity, tech or AI.
Well, I hope that young people now hear us talking a lot more about this as a government. People should see that we are investing so heavily in the infrastructure of the future so that when young people come out of school or education or vocational training, they have this great environment to come into. So I was just in Manchester just last week and I met, there was a Cyber First event going on,
Yes.
a mega event.
Yes.
250 year eight, I think it was, students. And they were all there just so excited about the future. And of course, that is the kind of training that we need to start that spark of excitement about the potential for AI. And then they were doing presentations, and I sat in on some of the presentations about how young people want to use AI for issues they care about. And it was animal welfare, it was climate change, it was housing issues, it was all the kind of big social issues that young people think about. And they were applying tech to making a difference as a young person to issues they care about. So I see this excitement there that you don't always see in other parts of our community and society. My job is to make sure that they have a economy with all of the compute, all of the data processing abilities, and that we have organizations, private sector and public, who are there to embrace them and give them the springboard out there. And hopefully every one of them will be setting businesses up
Yes.
and doing the kind of exciting things that you're doing.
I love that because in year 8, I was selling sweets at school.
Really?
So I'm intrigued to see
They were
how.
quite entrepreneurial.
Yes, exactly. So I'm wondering how the year 8 students might
Yeah.
be using their technical skills to start entrepreneurship at an early journey.
Yes.
And I think one of the issues I've heard is the skills gap in terms of how to encourage those young people to get into tech. They're introduced into it at a later stage. So from year 8, it's a fantastic starting point.
And the lesson is you have to go to them.
Yes.
Because too often you will set a class up or an extracurricular activity or an out of school club, but it's always ends up being the youngsters who already have the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And that's why Cyber First, some of the other programs that we're investing in are really important. And we also have, tech companies themselves. IBM is involved in Tech First. We've got Amazon are also now committing to train tens of thousands of young people themselves.
Lovely.
And we're trying to make sure that this is all coordinated so that every young person from every background gets the same access to understanding what the potential is in the future, not so that we can channel everyone into the same future, but for everyone from every background, if they do choose these futures in the world of tech and AI, it's not a leap into the unknown.
Yes.
And that's the really important thing.
You know what? I really like that point because I studied chemistry at university, and I know that within my university, they're looking to implement more technology within the sciences rather than it being something that we're completely alienated. So it's nice to introduce technology from an early age and even to those who might not be familiar with it so they understand its scope in various industries, like you said, environment, healthcare, etc.
I actually returned to secondary school when I was 25 years old.
Oh, wow.
And sat in a classroom with 16-year-olds and did my A-levels over again.
Really?
I applied 4 times to get into university. And when I got into university, I was the first person from my family to get into university. And that's the journey that set me going towards politics because of really how hard it was to get an education. And look where it's taken me.
Yes.
But almost every step I've taken has been a leap into the unknown.
Yeah.
And I've kind of got used to it. But I'm just very aware, I don't know why I've done all this stuff, but I'm very aware that most young people don't take these leaps into environments, whether they're physical environments or whether they are social environments or places where people are meeting and you don't feel you've got the connection or the skills to engage. I've learned to love those situations, but most young people don't. And now I look around and I just see so many people as a result of those sort of hidden barriers.
Yeah.
They may not have explored their full potential
Exactly.
as people. And I think that's really sad.
Yeah.
Sad for us as a country and sad for what it means for people and families and communities. And I want to be part of a government that can change that.
Yeah, and I'm excited by the work you're doing. You mentioned sort of you went to university to upskill, but I'd be interested in what are the other routes of entry that the government are funding to get various people into tech. So we talked about young people, year eights, but what about career changers or those in their mid to early career profession? What opportunities are there to pivot into the field of technology?
That's great. The apprenticeship levy is tasked on all paid for by all large employers, but any employer can apply for it. Now, quite often we find that some of the large employers are using that resource for quite high level apprenticeships, which go to internal staff.
Yeah.
So what we've done is incentivized it going to entry level apprenticeships. We want more people to have a gateway into businesses, into sectors, into industries, and to feel really great changing from one to another. And we put our money where our mouth is as a government as well, because I've set up an apprenticeship for the civil service.
Lovely.
And it's a digital apprenticeship, and it can be applied for people within the civil service who want to transition to a digital job, because this is a digital apprenticeship. But it can also be a gateway into the civil service if you want to come in via an apprenticeship to do digital work in the government.
Great.
So this is now up and running, and I hope this can set an example for all employers. And it's great, actually, when the civil service can do things which
Yes.
can also be inspiring for other organisations. By 2030, I want 1 in 10 jobs in the civil service to be digitally orientated, to be digitally skilled. And I think we need the same kind of ambition right through the whole economy. And then once we get there, we've got to keep on going, because digital is going to be so important to all parts of the economy very, very soon.
I think the digital apprenticeship sounds like a great entry route for people who want to make that career change or don't have that technical background to, I guess, impact the government using technology in essence. That's great to hear. Why would you say the UK is one of the best places in the world for tech businesses to start and scale?
Britain is, you said one of? You
Yeah.
said one of, your
It's
lack
one
of
of the-
ambition.
yes,
Britain is the best, and I'll
yes.
tell you why. Because we've got 4 out of the top 10 universities in the world. We've got the English language, which is one of the key languages around the world. We have a cultural sector and a creative sector that is fantastically respected around the world. And we have an investment landscape because of our economy going into tech and startup, which means you can come here, you can learn, you can spin out, you can create ideas, and there are people there that will fund it. And crucially, you've got a government that's on your side now. So we're laying the foundations of a digital future by AI growth zones. We are investing we've got an AI energy council so that there will be the energy required for the growth of AI into the future. We have a unit now in number 10 Downing Street reporting to the Prime Minister and myself, which is coordinating all these constituent parts that make Britain great, so that we can add up to more than the sum of our parts, and people can come here and feel a really positive environment, an ecosystem, which actually is a sort of invisible hand that will push people forward in the same way that people experience when they're in Silicon Valley. We have that degree of excitement, enthusiasm, and ambition as a government, and I hope people feel it when they come here.
I can definitely say I felt it because I attended a talk where they had health tech startups pitching their ideas and the work that they're doing with NHS Innovation to revolutionize the healthcare industry. So that's really exciting. And even just the stands themselves, I'd say a third, even just under a third, are international who see the value in the UK startup market. So I would like to say, yes, the UK is the best.
It is. So, I mean, I've been walking around the stands. I was here last year, and I can feel how more energized London Tech Week is this year. I've just walked past a stand from Sao Paulo, the city of Sao Paulo. They brought 10 businesses over here because they want 10 businesses to come and experience what we have here in the UK and to be connected to it. This space, I mean, is far larger than last time. So this is not just one step forward and then we're going to stand still. I want this to be, the way forward, and the momentum we're building up here to be something that just catapults Britain right to the very top and stays there, because that's the sort of virtuous circle that we need to unlock further investment into the UK, further opportunities for people who are either sort of innovating in the UK at the moment or are in the school process and education process, and they'll be coming out into this really exciting place. I want people not to always be overwhelmed by what's happening, but to be excited by it. And that's where we need to be and where we're aiming for.
So why are you excited by the startup, the tech startup community? Why tech startups?
Because I see so much innovation. I've met people who have started a company that is using AI to improve the scans in hospitals. And then I've seen the scans being used where you can get a scan in seconds, which is identifying potential hotspots in a far more accurate way than the human eye is doing, which means that the human resource is focused on the more tricky aspects of it. So you're getting more accurate scans. It's detecting early stage cancer where it wasn't before. The staff that are working there have been upskilled and are enjoying the work more.
Yeah.
And the patients are not having to wait 2 weeks to get results. They're getting it very, very rapidly. And I came out of that visit knowing for certain that if my mum, who had died of late onset lung cancer and she'd been scanned 3 times and they'd missed it, if my mum had been scanned there, she would be alive today. And that was a British startup that was doing that and brought that expertise, that technological zeal, that cutting edge of the moment technology to use for the health
Yeah.
of that community. And it's also creating jobs and wealth
Yes,
for our
exactly.
country.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't we want a country where that's the norm?
Yeah.
You know, why wouldn't we want that applied to our education system?
Exactly. Yeah.
To applied for individuals. I have learning challenges. I'm very severely dyslexic. So why wouldn't I want the kind of tools that are available now to assist in learning for people with barriers to learning? This is an exciting time to be alive. It's an exciting time to be in business. It's an exciting time to be in government, to unlock some of this on the path of government. And that's why I'm so excited. And I hope lots of your fantastic viewers are too.
Yes, I mean, we have a shared enthusiasm for the UK tech startup within healthcare. I think because we know how much it's going to impact and change people's lives.
Exactly.
So I'm looking forward to that growing and developing.
Thanks so very much.
Yes, and I've got one last question.
Oh.
What's been your top highlights from London Tech Week?
Oh, the highlight so far is the Prime Minister's speech this morning.
Yes.
To see Keir, who I've known for a very long time, and known how passionate he is for this sector, for tech in the UK, to have the global spotlight, to see him on stage in conversation with Jensen Huang from NVIDIA was just fantastic, because we were talking about this in opposition. And now and I was here at London Tech Week, and I spoke from a position of opposition last year. And now I'm here with him as Prime Minister on the stage with one of the most consequential technologists in the world, announcing things, getting things done, forming the global partnerships that's going to make life in Britain better and create more opportunities for people who are working in technology here. So it was quite a moment for me, and I know for a fact it was quite a moment for him too.
Yeah, I think that is a perfect example of the work that the UK is getting, that international recognition from in the AI space, and we've got big players in the space coming to speak to the Prime Minister. So yeah,
exactly. Brilliant.
thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Okay, thank you.